Welcome back to Neurodivergent Nurture, where I share my experience of IVF while being an autistic person in a foreign country, no less. Here I am, episode 3, and I am back from Puerto Vallarta. I had my egg retrieval, and I want to get into what happened, what were some of the panic moments, when I definitely felt my most autistic self, how I got through things, where I'm at now, what are some next steps. So, I'm back. In fact, I have been back for over a week, but it took me a while to feel good enough to film this because I'm a changed person. Um, I'm starting to feel myself again, but oh my God, I'll get into that. Okay, so I was there for 18 days. Given that we are doing a frozen transfer, all I needed to do was stay there from the first day when the injections start up until the egg retrieval, a couple days later actually, for recovery. And, I did want to take some videos while I was there, but it really turns out I'm not that kind of YouTuber. I could not just film while I was in the clinic. I really just kept it business while I was there. Got a few pictures, although I do regret not capturing some photos with the nurses. There were like 3 nurses named Carla that I really enjoyed. Let's start with what I thought would be a big deal, but actually wasn't. So, taking injections. It turns out, I'm a pro. You just inject it into the fat in your belly. So, it's not like you're putting something into your muscle. And, I was doing shots in the waiting room. I was a couple times I was just sitting there like, oh yeah, I got to take it before I go. Okay, I'm going to take it in the waiting room. There's people around. It's really not a big deal. It's nothing for me. I never had to ice my stomach. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, going to the clinic. I thought that I would be there every day. That's not accurate. I was there every 2 or 3 days. So I probably could have stayed a little further away and went to a preferred part of the area to stay. So I will think about that when I go back for my transfer, if everything goes well. And also the egg retrieval, not a big deal. I'll talk about that in a bit. I also heard that there'd be constipation. That wasn't the case for me, thankfully. That sounds like it would really complicate things. I do want to say vegan diet, constipation's never an issue. And the panic moments, the panicking moments. Yeah, that's when I felt really autistic because coping with difficulty and change is where I become very ungraceful. Thankful for the supports I had with me, of course. So, okay, I forgot my debit card. I really could have used it to have cash, and that was a panic moment. You know what, though? I was just able to lean on the supports that were with me, being my wonderful friend that came with me, and then my husband that showed up later. And I accidentally deleted my eSIM. I used Airalo, which turns out I didn't even need in Mexico because Verizon lets you go there for free. But I deleted it, and then I deleted my actual phone number, and then I had to call Verizon. Okay, so these are little things. Yeah, and then I was experiencing teeth pain which I read shortly after that actually IVF medications can cause inflammation, including in your gums, and cause dental problems. I just started flossing really hard. I don't know. Yeah, it was noticeable. Oh yeah, and then feeling like I had to advocate quite often when I was there. I stand by what I said in the last episode, which we chose the Live LIV clinic in Puerto Vallarta, and I did enjoy every interaction I had with the staff. And overall, the attention that we got was amazing, and it was an intimate setting. That said, like any medical setting I've been to with my doctor here in the States, I just had to advocate a little every day to kind of get people communicating with each other that I wish they would, like maybe the receptionist didn't have the same information that the nurses had. And it was making me a little bit tired to be like, no, I already took that injection today. So if I didn't say anything, I would have gotten another one, especially if the one I really hated, which puts ovulation on pause. I think it was called cetrotile. Everything had a Spanish accent to it, so I don't know. But yeah, it might have been double dose if I didn't say something, so not my favorite. Also, I felt a little panic at first about the number of eggs. I didn't understand, and I needed some counseling about there really being no wrong or low number because it really all varies on your age. And if you get to one embryo in the end, people have gotten pregnant that way. Okay, so I'll get to that part later as well. And then another thing, I had some family stuff come up um, while I was there, trying to keep my stress super low, and then unfortunately that really threw me. I had a lot of trouble with that. In fact, a few days after I came back, because of the whole delayed autism emotional processing thing, I finally started to feel it all and had a real ugly cry after that. Again, support system is great. I wouldn't have gone into this alone at all. Let's talk about let's talk about the best stuff. Let's go there because I'm getting a headache just thinking about when I was stressed out. I would say the majority of the time I felt great. I really did. I want to put a plug out for this movie that I watched um, at the urging of my wonderful friend. It's called The Business of Being Born with Ricky Lake from like 2008, maybe. And it was so soothing to watch this. It was so affirming as well. And it really put the control back and where I felt it needed to be. Highly recommend. It confirmed a home birth for me. It confirmed um, the way my family is going to do this if the situation, circumstances, my health permits. It was a little upsetting only in the fact that there are so many unnecessary interventions in a hospital. But other than that, I'm inspired. I'm inspired to be at home. I can see also for an autistic person giving birth who already experiences sensory overwhelm. Maybe just start with fluorescent lights and then add in the sounds of all the equipment and then the pressure. Oh my God, the pressure of people, the decisions that you shouldn't even be really asked to make. And I can have a difficult time under pressure. I can be a little bit impressionable. So that's just not a time I want to be kind of having an internal battle about how to say something. Another really nice part, let me keep my calm indoor voice going here. The beach. I love the beach. I had a great time. I thought I was going to get really overwhelmed there. I have had experiences before. Sand, stickiness, just like, get this bathing suit off. It's wet. It's on my skin. But you know what? I was really able to drop in. I threw myself in the ocean and felt wonderful about it. I really embraced the sun during this trip too. I just needed to let down and have some simple pleasures and sun, tacos, beach, and rest. I did a little bit of work while I was there, but keeping some boundaries where they needed to be really helped. Let's see what else in the line of the best category. I really enjoyed speaking Spanish. I remembered my love for it, my love for learning it. I was never the autistic stereotype of excelling in the area of math. I'm not going to count for shit. I'm not going to have some sort of wild memory thing going on. And so, like a lot of women who are autistic, it was more in the language and music area, like a serious love for grammar and patterns. Also, we met another lovely couple in our situation from Quebec. She was a similar age to me, at least. Another lovely thing was just my friend being with me. She gave me acupuncture treatments 3 times during the week and what's known as moxa, Moxa. Look it up. I'm not going to be the one to tell you about it. I think it smells nice. Oh, yeah. And also the first 7 days of stims See me using the lingo now? I said stims, and that's not autistic stimming. It is ovarian stimulation. Yeah. So the first, yeah, 7 days of injections, I was going to the gym. What did I do? I did a bar class, lots of walking. I felt great, felt pretty sexy actually. And it wasn't until day 10 where I referred to myself as a glorious cow because perhaps on the outside I might have looked fabulous, but I was bloated, my bathing suits didn't fit anymore, and I was nauseous. So I guess I'm coming out of the best stuff and telling you more of the experience. Yeah, I was getting a little nauseous. So by the time my husband arrived, he was like, "Aw, you already look a little bit pregnant." I really had to find the part of my mind that felt like that was a very sweet, loving compliment. But I really wasn't ready to have my belly appear that way. Anyway, practice. Some other times where I felt super autistic was just when I wasn't understanding things. I realized just how much when I'm receiving information, especially in a clinical setting, or let's say I'm getting trained on something at work, it's just, it's just not coming in. So I would get home from meeting with the doctor with my friend or my husband, and I would be like, okay, so I do this and I take this in the morning, I take this. No, you take it tonight. Oh, okay. And this is how I expand the needle. Nope, you don't expand it. You just got air inside of it. Let me help you. Yeah. And I also forget to ask the right questions. Here I was feeling like bloated, like I was carrying around these huge follicles and eggs, and okay, the eggs are super tiny. The follicles were getting really big. And I was about to leave the clinic and go to the gym and like, have leg day, and then my husband was like, "So should she be limiting her exercise?" And the doctor was like, "Oh, yes, yes, don't for like 2 weeks, and you shouldn't be lifting or twisting or bending." And I was like, damn, if I didn't ask that, I would have just gone to the gym. Don't expect me to have the common sense about this. Like, I don't know. I thought I would feel better if I worked out, but I could have caused torsion. I could have caused an ovary to twist apparently behind my uterus, get emergency surgery, spend a little more money? Okay. All right, let's talk about this egg retrieval, shall we? 36 hours before, I got a trigger shot, and same place all the other shots were going every day. And then it was, oh yeah. And then they gave me something to give myself an enema. I will not talk about that on YouTube. Okay. And then in the morning, off we go. No jewelry, no nail polish, no makeup, no nothing. You just gotta get up and go. So I was going to have my egg retrieval. My husband was having his Tessie, Tese, where they make an incision and extract sperm. So I had fun going into the procedure. They just told me I was going to feel dizzy when they had me there, and I just fell asleep. And then when I woke up, I was being wheeled in next to my husband. Don't remember much. He told me, I said, "Did I say anything stupid under anesthesia?" So I guess the only thing I said under anesthesia was, "Did I say anything stupid?" So covered my bases. See, I even had my anxiety come through when I'm even unconscious, protecting myself. Great. Okay. And then I just kept sleeping. I felt good. Then my husband went for his procedure, so that by the time he came back in, I was pretty conscious, and it was hilarious. I was laughing at him pretty well too. Okay. Discomfort following the surgery was just, I felt fragile. I felt delicate for a whole week and a half afterward. Just, I couldn't exercise. That's kind of depressing. And oh, the first day, the anesthesia and the antibiotics, they tore me up. Yeah. I had like upper stomach pain. I don't know how people go home right after their procedure. I saw people with their suitcases right in the waiting room. And so they come out of there all like, woo, like I probably was, ready to just get on a plane. We needed food, laying in bed, Netflix, and yeah. I'm so glad. We had a whole full day after that too to recover. No, couldn't imagine. Couldn't imagine going on a plane. Mm-mm. What was I glad I brought? Well, my heating pad, loose clothing. I already loathe waistbands. I already do everything I can in my everyday life to not have waistbands that cut into me. Um, I love like wide, thick, like when those Lululemon leggings came out, they had like, they were like high waisted and the waistband's like this long and it just like butter. That, I want that all the time, but also looser. So I seek that stuff out. So anyway, glad I brought all loose clothing, especially I had to kind of improvise and make up a bathing suit after mine wouldn't fit. And I'm glad I had this not now, I don't have it here, not now nausea spray. That's this herbal thing, mostly like ginger and I don't know, you just spray it in your mouth and then it just takes the edge off of your nausea. I was glad that I brought gym clothes. For when I did feel good, it really helped. I was guessing this is how it works, but I felt like it was moving the medication through me a little bit faster to be able to move. When the days that I laid there, I felt more like crap. I'm also really glad that I sprung for a very good cat sitter when I left. She came in 30 minutes twice per day for our beautiful girls, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Peace of mind for me is huge. I believe I shared that I didn't even have my husband come the full 2.5 weeks with me for that reason, for my cats. I want them to be with the people that they love as long as possible. I project upon them a lot. I do. I'm back home. So I got an email that said, good news, 6 embryos, 5 good, 1 suboptimal. Okay. At the 5 day mark, 2 suboptimal. That was the next news that we got. 2 suboptimal embryos. They're grading. Not every clinic has the same embryo grading, but it was good, suboptimal, and poor. Okay, so not poor, but this was my first moment of uh the first moment of sadness. Now there's a couple levels of it. One was like just hearing about embryos that didn't make it. Just hearing something a part of my husband and a part of me that they were just describing to me like they died off. I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know that would make me sad, but it did." And then uh, just suboptimal. Okay. Okay. Which means a diminished chance at implantation, but not poor. So here we are. We're sending a little chunk of both of those suboptimal embryos off for genetic testing, and that'll take 4 weeks. And that's where this leaves me right now. And the effect on me hearing that was I was less drawn to go into Instagram and look at maternity clothing and watch videos about parenting, and it just deflated me a little bit. And so I think I'm protecting myself, defense mechanism a little bit, and not looking so much at those things. Kind of afraid to get excited now. But you know what? We went into this. We have never tried conceiving naturally. We know nothing about our actual fertility abilities. This could still go well. But it was the first time I had to think about maybe doing this more than once. Eh. And would I do it in Mexico again? I don't know. I mean, if this goes on and on and on and on, no. But hey, I'm gonna go ahead and think that this is a thing that's gonna go well, and I'm gonna take care of myself like I'm about to be caring for a child. I'm still gonna prepare the body. I'm gonna eat all the foods, keep that womb warm and ready. Work on some of my family stuff. Get emotionally prepared. Further healing. Yeah. So now what? Wait for the results. Plan to go back. Prep the womb. Get back into exercise. Then start meds for the transfer. there will be more medication. And that'll involve birth control, more injections. I have to learn about that. Thank you for joining me on this part of the journey. I had a little more to say this time since I'm finally actually doing it and not thinking about it. I'm happy to answer any questions. And shout out to that one person that gave me a comment. It really inspired me to just keep doing this. And if more people resonate, then fantastic. So this is me awkwardly wrapping up episode 3. I never quite know how to end this, but I hope you have a suboptimal day, because that's also a good day with a good, fantastic chance of success.